Video games and learning isn't exactly something every parent wants to hear, especially if they're a parent who is convinced that video games are a spawn of the devil. I'm Repixelated and I'm going to talk about how video games affect a child's learning ability. Now, the following games listed may be targeted to a younger audience, but remember, you are never too old to learn, and some of the games listed are compatible with Windows 10 and are pretty cheap now, so if you want to try these for yourself or your child, be sure to check them out. The first video game ever was invented in 1958, and since then they have played a big role in society. Whether it is for recreational or therapeutical purposes, video games have impacted our lives in various ways and have helped expand the knowledge of many individuals alike, me included. Video games may not have been originally designed for educational purposes, but it has been proven that video games can help improve eye and hand coordination. Now, all video games can develop hand coordination, especially those that require hand movement or physical activity, such as Kinect Adventures. But there are a few that can improve and expand other capabilities, such as problem solving and how we deal with emotions. Video games reduce the pain children experience during painful medical experiences, decreasing anxiety and proving a distraction. Research also indicates that children aged 10 to 15 play up to an hour of video games each day. They are happier and more satisfied with life than children who don't play at all. Video games have played a big part in children and adults alike, and evidence shows that we develop faster learning skills while playing a video game, because we don't necessarily realise that we are learning. In fact, Italian researchers presented evidence that playing fast-paced video games can actually improve the reading skills of children with dyslexia. While video games can develop the brain's problem-solving skills, it is not recommended to spend long periods playing them because they can affect the health of the human body unless they are fitness games or encourage exercise. Like with most things, it is good to maintain a balance and work out how many hours you spend playing video games. Games such as Pokemon Go can encourage children to go outdoor, which helps maintain a healthier lifestyles for those who are less active, and educational games can improve abilities such as spelling. In fact, a large study showed that gameplay does not impact negatively on a child's academic performance. As a child that spent a majority of my life homeschooled, I can certainly say that, while not being the fastest learner growing up, I definitely improved my writing and mathematical skills by playing video games. I was one of those kids who found it really hard to spell and wasn't good at math at all. Even today I struggle with hard mathematical problems, but I would hate to think where I would have ended up if my parents hadn't tried everything they could to expand my education. I grew up with a huge variety of educational games due to my atrocious learning abilities, part of this because I absolutely hated learning as a kid. My reading and writing was terrible and I just couldn't seem to accomplish reading aloud fluently. So my parents tried various methods to help me learn. Tutoring, Kumon, you name it, I did it. I was just a kid who couldn't learn at all. But then one day my parents brought home a Windows 95 IBM Aptiva and I fell in love with it. They brought me many educational games and encouraged me that if I did well, they would buy me a game of my choice.
Wow, physics.
Little me, being excited, took up the opportunity. These games have stayed etched into my brain to this day, and I never really realised I was learning growing up. I would play these games over and over again and would listen to the educational music for hours. I mean, who doesn't want to listen to a singing goat, right?
Eat, chew, swallow.
In fact, I still remember what verbs, nouns, and adjectives are, while most others my age would have long forgotten. I think we just simply don't use it enough in everyday society, and therefore it leaves our memory banks. Just listen to this song. I'm willing to bet that you don't even know which words are adjectives.
Can you guess which of these words are the adjectives? See the little green bird. She's smart and you can hear it. She can say 7 words. My pretty, pretty Panama parrot.
Video games have been a huge part of my life for both learning and recreational purposes. Even during hard times, they have lifted my spirit and helped me to cope with emotional struggles. But just like anything, there is a bad side and we all need to be aware of it and take video games in moderation. As parents, it is your duty to teach your child and protect them from the world. If you are one of those parents still believing video games are bad and children shouldn't play them, then remember, a child can only get a violent game if a parent or adult guardian buys it for them. Too many times I can play a game and hear children playing them. They can get very competitive and rather violent. And while I believe being competitive can be good and can build a child's character, I just think it would have been better for a parent to teach them that they cannot always win. Sometimes losing at a video game can help a child improve and think about how to do better next time they play. If a game is violent, it can encourage a child to be more violent, so it's essential to teach them that it is only a game. Teaching a child at a young age the difference between what's right and what's wrong will help them get good morals too. Let them know that video game is only make-believe and that they shouldn't try to be like the character. It is just like television. When I was younger, my parents would let me watch movies that had high age restrictions. I would watch horror movies for hours, and instead of being scared, I thought they were funny. This was due to the fact my parents realised the maturity, and instead of hiding me from it, they found ways to teach me between the difference of what was real and what wasn't. Remember, children learn from a young age from the things they come into contact or interact with. So if a child becomes uncontrollable, you only have yourself to blame. But I digress. At a young age, encouraging a child to play video games can be good. It can improve their problem-solving abilities and help them learn faster. Video games can even teach you history and geography. They don't even necessarily need to be educational games in order to do so. Video games have been around for a really long time, and they will continue to inspire more spin-offs and variations than we know what to do with. In fact, I would say educational games and their classic formula doesn't appeal to so many people anymore, especially now with the amount of mass-produced video games that hit our shelves every year. And this is because there is just way too many of one genre. When we come across a puzzle or an adventure game, it just doesn't seem as appealing compared to all the first-person shooters or multiplayer games out there. But if given the chance, these games can prove fun and nostalgic. In fact, one elderly lady stated that playing her DS Lite was what kept her brain active and prevented Alzheimer's, and she was around 100 years old. Even today, I will still pick up my educational and adventure games, even if it's mainly for the nostalgia. But you can't deny that video games do make a difference and impact us all, whether we be young or old.
I think we're having a real moment here. I've changed my mind. I can't give her up. You can have your money back. How could I sell something so dear? Then again, a deal's a deal, right? Right. Good luck. Yeah, I'm out of here.
I look at the ground, I look at the sky, I ask how come, just gotta know why. So much to learn, so much to find, reading about science is blowing my mind.
Science.
It's in the yard, it's in the tree.
Science.
It's in a leaf and it's in me. Zoology, science and the study of animal kind. Psychology, a science all about the human mind. Biology, science that deals with everything alive. Ecology, environmental science, how we all survive.
Science.
It's in my feet, it's in my eye.
Science.
It's in the moon and in the sky. Geology, science of the rocks and the earth's terrain. Meteorology, science of the clouds and the wind and the rain. Biology, science that deals with every single thing alive. Ecology, environmental science, how we all survive.
Science.
It's in the fog and in the air.
Science.
It's in the colors everywhere. So much to learn, so much to find. I gotta get started, gonna make some time.
Science.
It's in the art, it's in the tree.
Science.
It's in a leaf and it's in me.
Science.